Hey y'all, I'm Danielle, owner of Naturally Created Wholesale, and today I want to talk with y'all about 3 things you must have in order to sell products online. Okay, and if you are selling products online and you're not making any sales, it's likely because you're missing one, two, or all 3 of these things. All right. First and foremost, you have to have a brand. Like, branding is everything when it comes to business. Okay, if you can build a solid, trustworthy brand, people are going to flock to you. Okay. So let's talk about that. Having a brand is not having someone do a logo for you, coming up with a business name and an email address and a website, um, picking a few colors, knowing you want to sell skincare or lashes or lip gloss. That's not a brand. Okay, a brand is more so like turning your business into a person. Okay, so I'm sure y'all have heard like the examples used for, like shopping at Chick-fil-A versus McDonald's. Two completely separate brands, okay? Two completely different personalities, if you will. Same thing like shopping at Target versus Walmart, or going to um a high class restaurant versus Applebee's, right? And y'all ain't nothing wrong with Applebee's, okay? I'm just giving an example. You're getting different experiences when people talk about these companies. That it brings up a feeling. You know what you're going to expect from shopping with them, right? So it's very important that you establish this within your company. Establish who is your business, right? Set the expectations. Set, how you're going to speak, how you're going to act, if you will. Are you going to be a loud, crazy brand? Like Fashion Nova, they're very direct in their language, right? Or are you going to be softer? Or maybe you want to find a middle ground, right? What do you want the look of your brand to be? Do you want it to be super colorful, or do you want it to be more modest, right? These are just things that you need to think about when you are establishing a brand. A brand is not created overnight, okay? This is something that takes time, it takes effort, it takes thought, to pull all these pieces together so you do have a brand, and then making that brand trustworthy. So I've talked about this before. Y'all know, if you follow me or watched some of my videos, I'm a huge advocate for collecting reviews. That is how you build a trustworthy brand. All right. So not only, being consistent with showing up for your people, and providing them with value, providing them with quality, doing what you say you're gonna do. If someone orders something, you're going to send it to them, and it's going to be the same quality every time. They know what to expect. Your customer service is on point. Like, all of these things go into branding, right? And those reviews help you build trust, right? And reviews are not the only way that you can build trust. You can do that through PR and things of that nature. But having a brand is essential to selling online, okay? Because that is all that people are going to get. They can't walk into a store and look around and meet you and touch and feel the quality, right? So it's very important that you build this personality and this feel online, so that people can trust you and identify, like, oh, that's so and so. Yeah, they're good. Like, their products are good. Their customer service is on point. They're raving about you. So that's one. Branding. Branding is the basics, right? Once you have that brand, you have to have a marketing strategy. And I talked about this in my previous video on what I learned in my first year of business and doing wholesale. You have to have a marketing strategy, and it can't just be one thing. Okay, you can't just say like, oh, I'm gonna sell products on, I'm gonna promote my products on Instagram. Oh, I'm gonna promote my products on Etsy. Oh, I'm gonna promote my products, um, on TikTok. Like, that's cool, but like there's so much more that goes into marketing than just posting online. So make sure you have a strong marketing plan, okay? The first step is your brand, but then marketing is how do you get people in front of your brand? Okay, what are you doing? What actions are you taking in your business so that people can get to your brand? Because it's one thing to have a brand, but if no one knows about it, then that's gonna stink. Okay, so what is your marketing strategy? Like, what type of things are you doing to drive traffic to your website? And it cannot just be one thing. I suggest it being a multitude of things, and then you figure out what works the best, and you drive, you scale that while still having other avenues to reach people. Okay, and then lastly, none of this is going to work. Okay, none of this is going to work if you are not absolutely clear on who it is that you want to serve. Okay, and I use the word serve because I feel like you have to have more of like a servant mentality when you go into business, because if all you're worried about is how you can collect money, I don't know, y'all. I just feel like, people can see through that. If like all you're interested in is just how can you collect people's money, like, no, how can you help people? How can you make an impact? How can you serve people, right? So knowing your people and who these people are is key, because once you know them, then your marketing is more clear. Because if you're marketing and you're marketing to the wrong people, then that's a waste of time. And if you're doing paid marketing, that's a waste of money. Okay, so getting really, really clear about who it is that you want to serve, who it is that you want to help, and what do they look like, right? Physically and internally, like in their mental, like, what do they like? What are their emotions like? What are they doing on a regular basis? What's their friend groups like? What are their conversations like? Knowing them down to that part so that you can effectively communicate to them is going to be key whenever you do your marketing. So that is something personally, just to give y'all a little background, that is something that personally I really, really, really struggled with whenever I first started my, not this business, because I knew that was a key. But when I started my retail business, Naturally Created for You, I didn't know who my target audience was. I literally said, I just want to help women. And it was crazy. And it wasn't until I got super clear about who that woman was and what I could help her with that my messaging got a lot stronger, right? So that's something that I personally really struggle with. And just by taking a look at who the people were who were shopping with me and who were engaging with my business, I started pinpointing different things to identify who this person was, because like I said, when I first launched, I had no idea. So if you haven't launched yet, make sure you get crystal clear about who you want that person to be, because you can choose. You can choose. This is your business. You can establish a brand that attracts the specific people that you want to help, that you can help. Okay. um when I first started, I didn't know anything about a brand. All right. I just did what I told y'all. I got a logo, I got a business name, and I started posting on Instagram, and used Canva to kind of make everything look cohesive, but it it wasn't a brand. It wasn't a brand, and it wasn't until I took a course on branding and started getting some help to identify what was missing within my brand, that I was really able to um, take my brand to the next level. Okay. Um, so what I mean by that is I had some key parts, but I hadn't like connected everything together so that it could be like a cohesive brand, because I just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so it was like all these things in my business, but I didn't understand how like they all work together to establish a brand that could be trustworthy. Um, so that was something else that I struggled with, and that's why I'm trying to share with y'all why it's so important. Because once I established a brand, then people were, oh, I love how your business is like this, or I love that you talk about this. I love that all your products help with this, or I love how your brand looks, right? So all these different things are feelings that I've created that represent my brand, not based on just one thing and or just my logo or something. I hope that makes sense. Lastly, when I first started my Naturally Created for You business, there was no marketing plan, y'all. I just started posting on Instagram and was hoping and wishing that something would pick up and go viral, and that was going to be that. And that's simply not what happens. It is rare to happen, and that's why you need a marketing strategy. So I didn't really identify a marketing strategy until I started learning a lot more about business and just started figuring out what was missing in my business. And so I was doing different things, but I didn't have a strategy. I was just kind of like, oh, I'll do this, but nothing like worked together to actually create a marketing strategy that I could scale. So I say all that to say, if you are looking to start a skincare business, make sure you have these 3 key components. I hope I didn't trick you into watching this video like I was going to give you 3 things to go buy for you to have some crazy successful business. That's not how it works. These are 3 things that are just key points in your business that you have to be able to make sales online, to be able to sell your physical products online, or your digital products, right? If you have not started your or if you have started your business and you're like, man, I ain't making no sales, what's going on? It's likely because one of these things are missing, or maybe you have parts of it but you don't have it's not solid. Your branding isn't solid, your marketing isn't solid, or you don't have a deep understanding of who you're actually trying to help. So if you need help, I do have a playbook. It's called How to Start a Skincare Business Playbook. I talk about these things. It's a really awesome framework to help you get started in going through the bullet points of what do you need to do, what do you need to have in place, questions you need to ask yourself, things you need to think about, all the way up until launching your business. And then I do give you a launch strategy at the end of the playbook. So if you're interested in that, that's available on my site. But I just wanted y'all to have this information and just get y'all to start thinking about these key things, because without these things, and having a really good understanding of these three things, is really hard to have a successful business. I don't even know that it's possible to have a successful business if you don't have a strong brand, a strong marketing plan, and if you don't know who it is that you're trying to help. I just don't think it's possible. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all have any questions, if y'all want me to create any other videos, please let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time.